Yeah. I'm Rich Luftig, and I knew Lee. We began to be friends back in 2009. And as a poet, good poets know a rule, which we say, show, don't tell. So I'm going to hopefully show you some things about Lee that just made him really special. The first was his voice. As someone said, he could go from a low grumble of about 2 decibels to when he read a poem and he would shake those windows in the back. He would read that poem as if he was reading Hamlet. It was outstanding. But when I started going to meetings back in 2009, Linda was talking about it. We met in a little tiny room, in a back room of a restaurant in Claremont. And it was really tiny, and there was about 20 or 30 of us in there. And it was kind of like assigned seating. Once you sat there for life. I don't know if Linda remembers that. And so I sat in the only empty chair, and Lee was on my right. And I'm listening to the poems, and there's this buzz in my right ear. And then I realized it was Lee. And then I realized it wasn't a buzz. It was this constant grumble. Grumble, grumble, grumble. And I didn't know it was words. And then I realized it was words. And he was having a running commentary on everything everybody else was saying. And for my introductory psychology class some 50-odd years ago, I learned that you can't concentrate on 2 things going into your ear simultaneously. And there was poetry going on in my left ear, and there was Lee going on in my right ear. And it took me about 10 minutes to realize that what was going on in my right ear was a hell of a lot more interesting than anything that anybody was talking about. So I think I finally had to change my seat. Lee was, God, he had this cynical wit, but it was a wit nevertheless, and it was gorgeous. And he was writing villanelles for a while. And being a kind of wise guy myself from New York, I said to him what the poet laureate Billy Collins had said. He had written a poem, Collins, called Another Damn Workshop Villanelle. And Lee didn't say nothing. And Catherine, you can back me up in this. For the next 15 weeks, Lee brought villanelles to share with the group, just to make me crazy. And finally, the last thing I want to say about Lee was there was a group that he was the president of. It was some kind of statewide poetry group. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah, Tumbleweeds.
Oh, Tumble, and they were having Chaparral Tumble, and they were having their state meeting down here. Everybody from all over the state was coming. Yeah, and it was going to be in the Ontario Convention or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Lee said to me, would you conduct a 1-hour workshop with some folks from that group? And I said, how many? He said 7 or 8. It won't be too many, less than 10. And I walked into the room. Does anybody remember going to that? There were like 100 people in that room, all expected their poem to be critiqued in a 1-hour period. So I was like, did the best I could, and I went out incensed. I said, Lee, what did you do to me? I mean, what did you do to me? I expected 10 people. And I'll never forget, his response was 4 words. And you believed me. And he turned around and walked away. That was my friend Lee.